Good morning. We're going to give it just one more minute and then we'll get started. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Just a few couple of housekeeping items before we get started. Everybody has been muted upon entry. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, please add them to the QA section up in the Teams menu webinar. At the end of the presentation, we'll address any additional questions that may come up, but just in terms of during the meeting, if you could add the questions to the Q&A, that would be great. Okay, so my name is Julie Kunka, and I am a customer success manager here at Crestwood Associates, and I focus primarily on our Dynamics clients. So this topic will be near and dear to my heart as well as our customers. Joining me today is Michael Saganda. He is a senior business central consultant on our Dynamics team. He has over 16 years of NAV and BC experience, including time as an end user for BC and NAV. So he's got a lot of great real world experience. He works with our clients on a variety of business central projects with a special interest in finance and operation. Today on the call, Michael will be covering shipping in Business Central. He will review best practices and integrating multiple shipping carriers into BC, automation of shipping documentation, and tracking carrier performance, all with that goal of increasing efficiency and accuracy, improving delivery times, and ultimately improving customer satisfaction with the buying process. Just again, a friendly reminder to please add any questions to the Q&A section and we will cover them at the end of the webinar. With that, I'll hand it over to Michael. Michael?
Good morning, everybody. All right, so thank you for joining our webinar this morning. Today we will explore how to simplify shipping across channels, managing shipments from a single platform via Business Central. Our focus will be on streamlining distribution operations through the integration of multiple carriers, automation of shipping documents, and the tracking of carrier performance, all within Business Central and related apps. For this live demo, there will be screen loading and some API calls, so on and so forth. So since it's live, I ask for some patience. All right. In this demo, we are going to be using Business Central, as you kind of see on my screen here. And what I've done is I've loaded dynamic shipping from InsightWorks. This app integrates with an API that is connected that allows you to quote and do different things with shipping costs. There's a couple other things that it does, but it uses Easy Post. And this shipping API, it provides access to a large number of carriers so that you can compare rates, allowing you to track packages, verify addresses, all through that platform that integrates right into Business Central through this dynamic shipping app from InsightWorks. You can also use your FedEx account, your current FedEx account, UPS, and United Postal Service, and there's a variety of other ones. So Easy Post, like I said, is an API or a service that allows you to do these things, but you can add your own custom APIs. You can also add specific freight carriers that are not Easy Post. And this will require some additional configuration and potential customization, but it is there's the ability to do so. This also allows you to add LTL and full truckload carriers as well. Again, via the screen that I'll show here called Dynamic Shipping or Ship Freight Integrators. So this is the API we're talking about. Here's the easy post, and I've connected with it. And so here, if we did have anything that was additional, we can add this via this integrations page. Okay. The app that is installed in Business Central is this dynamic shipping. It's from InsightWorks. If you want to take a look at their website and see additional info, you can always go to InsightWorks and check out their website. And the other piece that I wanted to show you here was the Easy Post. And Easy Post has the ability of adding all different types of carriers. This is a test account that, you know, I have a couple carriers that I can quote. These are all sample and test, what are called test APIs. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at creating a sales order. And, you know, so let's pack this sales order. And to keep our coffee break as a break, I have pre-populated the sales order. As you can see, I have the customer in the card. I also have the location code and an item. So as you can see, let's just say that this is ready to go. Orders in, ready to be shipped. What Dynamic Ship does is it also does provide a nice little button here in the header that allows you to quote the freight. So if you wanted to get a preliminary quote, you can, and you can click this button. And you can select what's called a shipping template. And this shipping template allows you to pre-configure dimensions of, let's just say, this box or the container that's going to be shipped. So in our case, I've already done this. And I am not going to go get this quote because we're going to use a slightly different area, which is called the package worksheet, which is next. And so this allows you to just get a ballpark figure of what the cost is going to be. Okay. And when let me go back in there real quick. If you do click this quote button here, what happens is that Dynamic Ship within Business Central actually calls the Easy Post API and then gets you quotes from FedEx, if we have FedEx, UPS, the United States Postal Service. So depending on what carriers you have integrated into your API. So I'm going to go to the package worksheet, and the package worksheet's a little bit more robust for this because it allows you. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to assume that we're going to pack this now. What it allows you to do is it allows you to capture all the information regarding that package that we're about to put together. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, and there's a screen or this part right here that says scan here. And I'm going to type in the word box. And box, if you remember, is that shipping template that that I just mentioned to you that has pre-configured or predetermined dimensions. And you'll see that as soon as I hit enter here, you'll see this update on the package information. So I'm going to hit box, and you'll see that we have 24 inches by 24 inches by 24 inches. Okay, and you'll also see that it assigns this package number, and it says LP000011, and this is our package number. And you can have multiple packages per shipment, but we're going to keep it simple today. and we'll have one. But what I wanted to make sure that you understood is that having this package number here allows you to then use it if you have EDI requirements to specify specific contents per package, so that if your customers require you via EDI to provide contents of the packages, you can do that there. So very, very important on that aspect. So it allows you to kind of use that functionality for ASNs and things of that nature. Okay. So now that we've got our box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack all, and you're going to see me type these commands because I want you to see what's actually going on here. Okay. So packing all, what it's going to do, since I'm packing one desk, it's going to put it inside of this package. Okay. So now you see the change in color, and you'll see that we've packed one quantity of this desk inside of this package. So we're all ready to go. Now the only thing we need to do is put in our weight. And you can do the weight via a couple different things. And I'm just going to put in the command to give us a pop-up that allows us to drop in the weight. So I'm just going to say this weighs 40 pounds. And I'm going to click OK, and you'll see this update. Okay. So now we've added the weight. But one thing to keep in mind is that Dynamic Ship does allow you the ability to integrate directly into a scale. So if we needed to get a weight from a scale, there is optionality and options to configure a scale that could be dropped right into each package. You can also bring in the default weight from the item card as well, but I wanted to show that you can do it manually as well, and talk a little bit about the scale integration possibility. Okay, so now that we've got this packed, we're going to call the APIs, and as I mentioned before, sometimes our APIs, especially FedEx, they don't put all of their resources on their test systems. They've got their production pretty well, but sometimes FedEx doesn't always work on the test API, but in production it works pretty well. So it did provide us one option for FedEx. So $124. So this is like a test quote. And you can also now see that United States Postal Service does as well for $187. So let's assume that we're going to go with the cheapest option and hit OK. And when I hit OK, what it's going to do, it's going to actually create our shipping label that we will put on this box. There we go. And I'm going to preview it on the screen just so that you can see it. All right, so here's our label. We've got our number, we've got our, and of course this is a sample. We're going through a test API. So we're getting pretty close to being able to ship this. This is now inside of FedEx's system, all ready to go. The other thing that Dynamic Ship does is it allows us, actually before I pass off this point here, you noticed that there was a pop-up that requested what printer we wanted to print that label. If you have a label printer that always gets this label and we don't want to go through the process of selecting the printer, Dynamic Ship or InsightWorks does provide a free app called Print Node that allows you to connect via internet printing or cloud printing, so that when you get that label, it just sends it over to the label printer without having the additional interaction on the screen. Just FYI. All right. So one thing that I wanted you to, before we move forward, I wanted to note a couple things, and one of them was, actually it's just one, that InsightWorks has some nice functionality that allows us to put a freight line that's integrated, meaning that that quote that we just got and what we're going to be charged for that shipping charge can be populated as a line on your sales order, so that if we wanted to charge the customer exactly what we're getting charged by the by FedEx, we can't display that on the line. So it allows you to see that, and you'll see that in just a second. I just wanted you to kind of have that in your mind as you're sipping on your coffee. So the other thing that I wanted to also mention is we sometimes need documents to go with these. For example, bill of ladings. So bill of ladings, as you can see here, there's a couple documents that may be used or needed during our shipping process. We've got our bill of lading available as well. And so these are these shipping documents that are right in BC inside of this dynamic shipping app. And we have the commercial invoice as well. See there? Those documents can be modified. So if there's language that needs to be there, or if there's additional requirements, we can always help with adding additional verbiage, language, maybe layout. Those kind of things can be updated per your request. All right. So now that we've shown our shipping documents, the next thing we can do is go ahead and post. And again, I want you to notice that I'm typing in the command here. And what this does, as soon as I post this, it's actually going to ship the order. Okay, so the order is now shipped. So you may think, man, typing this is just going to be very onerous, and why isn't there something simpler? Well, there is, and this can be scanned in with a handheld or a barcode scanner. And our good friends at InsightWorks Dynamic Ship do provide a nice little report with all of the functions. And I'm showing a very small number of the functions that you can have as a printout for the person or the operator when they're executing these functions. So I did the get weight and get label and things of that nature. So all these things are available as a simple barcode scan that can be attached to any PC. Okay. And if you don't use all of these, you can take a piece of or take the ones that you actually need, so that it's easily available for that user. All right. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and invoice this. And one thing that I want you to notice is that once we ship this, the system populated our package tracking number right inside of the sales order. And this value or the value that's inside of this package tracking number will be going to the shipment and then to the sales invoice as well. So it also has the agent and the service, which will be important after I hit this post button. So I'm going to go ahead and invoice this. Okay, go ahead and open that invoice. And as you can see, here's our package tracking number. And in the home screen, or in the home ribbon button, you'll see that you can actually track this. So this connects to the service so that you can easily see if, for example, customer calls in and says, hey, I never got my package. And you can go right into their sales invoice and say, hey, I see that it delivered this, or this is kind of the status, or this is the status with FedEx, so on and so forth. As you can see, there's no way that in the 2 minutes that I posted this, I would have been able to deliver something to Atlanta, Georgia. So this obviously would have to take time, and an actual shipping event would have to happen. But for demonstration purposes, you can easily see that the power in having this directly inside of Business Central and being able to pull all of it from one screen and one platform. Okay. All right. So now that we've looked at the process inside of Business Central, our friends at InsightWorks also have a free Power BI app that allows you to have analytics to show shipping metrics year over year, average shipping rates, and carrier expense breakouts. So this will allow you to monitor and optimize your shipping operations. So let's take a look at this app. And I have installed it inside of my Fabric, and it's just the dynamic shipping app that you can install. And what this does is there's five reports here, as you can see, that will show you total spend. How much did we spend on shipping for a given period? And there's all these filters here that have the natural Power BI filtering capabilities. So this is all data fed from Business Central. So you can see, how much did we spend? How much was our average shipment? How much did each package approximately cost? Average per pound. How many shipments for a given period? So nice dashboards for you to take a look at. You can also see how much we're spending per customer. You can see how many shipments, total shipments by location. Do we ship with higher frequency by the day of the week? Just analytics to help you make decisions about the shipping operations. What locations, and as you can see here, which service we used. Some additional trends, reports, time series here. Shipments by method over time, location over time. Allows you to do those analytics. And allows you to look at more closely at the agents themselves. What is our spend with each one of the providers? How much does each one cost? Cost per pound. Should we use FedEx more because they're a little bit cheaper? Those kind of things. It provides the tool, the numeric and analytics for decision makers to make these decisions. So look at some additional trends. You can see the spend over time. It looks like we use UPS a little bit more. And my favorite one is this customer summary. And it allows you to take a very close look to see if shipping to our customers is a cost center, or how much of a cost center is, or if it could be a profit center. And to make sure that we are at least covering our costs, depending on what the business is requiring. But the main thing is it allows you to analyze, how much we've shipped, how much those cost, and how much we charge our customers, and to make sure that it is in line with what our expectation is. So this is my favorite one. And I did pass over one thing that I wanted to show you that's actually related to this. I'm going to go back to the invoice, so sorry about that. I wanted to show you that it added that shipment line, and it charged the same amount that our freight cost was. So just wanted to show that. With that, to conclude, today, during our coffee break today, we showed that we can ship across channels by managing shipments from one platform via Business Central with the use of dynamic shipping, Power BI, the Power BI app as well. So with that, back to you, Julie.
All right. Interesting to see this. Interesting to see the spend by carrier. So that could, potentially provide some additional incentives or being able to provide some discounts. Just going to head over back just to our recap. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, so sorry. Just going to go back to the webinar. Cover the recap. Now we're at the welcome, but back to the recap. Again, like I said, it was interesting to see that FedEx compared to UPS. So potentially some opportunities to provide some additional savings for you based on different rates and commitment levels within the organization. So you had mentioned there's a few different ways to talk through. One of the questions was related to different weight input. You had mentioned that there were different ways to input the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something, if you have a consistent dimension or weight, that can be just populated ahead of time?
Yeah, so that can be added from the item card. So if the item always weighs the same, there's no variability, it can be passed directly from the item card and right into the dynamic ship. So and then the other option was we can integrate a scale. So there's options where if you had a scale, you can have the system call the scale to say, hey, let's put this weight right into the package so that we can get a quote for that or a shipping cost.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, just double checking to see if there's anything else with the Q&A. Kayla, anything that I'm missing?
Nope.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate Michael's overview that he provided, and hopefully you're able to learn a little bit and understand the different possibilities. If you have any questions, please reach out to your CSM here at Crestwood. And if you're new to the Crestwood family, then you can reach out to sales@crestwood.com for any additional assistance. But again, reach out to your CSM or to sales@crestwood.com and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Thanks and have a great day.